You are listening to the It's Your Time podcast, and I'm your host, certified life coach Michelle Arnold Bourque. In today's episode, I'm discussing the High Performers Holiday Joy Reset, nervous system safety, ease, and abundance. Welcome to the It's Your Time podcast, the podcast where busy professionals like you get the practical solutions and support you need to gain control of your schedule so you can strive to be the best in your career, but without the stress and overwhelm. If you're looking to increase your energy and decrease your stress, you are in the right place. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast, friends. Hopefully, if you celebrate, you enjoyed Thanksgiving. We had a great time. It was so simple. And I have to tell you, the fun part was looking back through my pictures from the last 11 months and finding at least one thing that I was thankful for. If you haven't done that, I would say try it before the year ends. It really was an opportunity to see how amazing the year has been. And in today's episode, I'm talking about a holiday joy reset. So it's going to be a mix of abundance, resilience, nervous system regulation, and the neuroscience of fun, because fun is not a luxury. It's a biological requirement for your best performance and well-being. And you can show your brain all of the fun that maybe you had throughout the year. And if it wasn't an amazing year, because listen, I've been there too, right? We can think about what we want for 2026. And I want this episode to help you close out the year grounded, clear, and actually enjoying your life, not just sprinting through it. So let's go ahead and dive in. And I want to start with a truth that still blows my mind every time I say it. Abundance is not something you chase. It's something you allow. It's something you receive, and your brain was built for it. Most of us, especially high-achieving women in sales, are phenomenal givers. We check the boxes, we take care of the people, we juggle the deadlines, keep the schedules moving, and then when someone offers us help, no, I'm fine, right? Like, I got it. We downplay compliments. We say, I'm all set. We resist receiving because our nervous system learned receiving equals danger. And here's where neuroscience comes in. Your brain uses something called confirmation bias. We've talked about it here before, right? So it looks for evidence of what you already believe to be true. So if you believe you must do everything alone, your brain will literally scan the world looking for evidence that you shouldn't receive because you're thinking you do it alone, right? But this is the good news. Your brain also has neuroplasticity opportunities, right? This is the work that we do here. We want to change the wiring of our thinking. And every time you receive a compliment or let someone buy you a coffee or let yourself rest without guilt, you strengthen new neural pathways of things like worthiness, safety, and abundance. And this is why fun matters. It cracks open the door for more receiving. And research actually shows joy expands cognitive flexibility. Stress shuts it down. When we think about the different levels of feelings, joy is at the top, right? When we think about things like shame and guilt, those are the feelings that weigh us down. So when you let yourself experience joy, maybe it's a laugh, maybe it's a moment of stillness, even maybe, I don't know, especially this time of year, right? Humming Mariah Carey. I think they unthought her. Isn't that what they say? While packing up your trunk, your brain becomes more creative, more resilient, and more open to possibility. And I like to think about potentiality, even greater opportunities than possibility. Fun literally makes your brain smarter, which brings us to productivity loop and why fun feels wrong to high achievers. Let's talk about something most of us are very familiar with, the productivity loop. The do, achieve, get validation, do more, repeat. It feels good. I know early on when I had a coach asking me, like, what is the feeling that you want to feel today? Productive, right? And that could literally mean I was cleaning a toilet and the baseboards of our house. That could be productive. But is that really making an impact on changing my life to new levels? Maybe not. It's just a good to be aware of, right? It feels good, but mostly because it releases dopamine and cortisol, and that can be an addictive combo. Achievement hits feel amazing. Cortisol feels like urgency, intensity, purpose. So when things finally calm down, your brain panics and goes, uh-oh, something's wrong. We're too relaxed. This is why so many high-achieving women say, I'm good, instead of I'm great. It's why peaceful days feel uneventful instead of healthy. And during the holidays, especially, the loop ramps up because society tells us more doing, more decorating, more cooking, more performing. Everything should look magical and feel effortless while you carry 98% of the load. But here's the neuroscience truth. Your best ideas, your strongest decisions, and your deepest fulfillment come from your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm state. Cortisol shuts down creativity, and fun reopens it. Joy is not frivolous. I just finished a class this morning, in fact, before I'm recording this, that talked about joy as strategy. Think about that. That'll be down the road. Joy is functional. You literally are more productive when you are less tense. So if you've been telling yourself, I'll slow down in January, this is your reminder. Your brain is asking for a reset now. Why wait? You can go into 2026 feeling strong, productive, and joyful. Let's not do cold turkey, right? You know I'm always talking about small changes over time as lasting results in your life. So let's start to incorporate where joy can be found more in your life. And I want to talk a little bit about resilient mindset and the holiday nervous system reset. So let's bring in the idea that I work with my clients, the empowered rhythm method. And we have 4 pillars. And I bring it up through the holidays because we have things like family dynamics, emotional load, travel madness, work pressure, and the idea that I have to get this all done. That kind of energy, right? It just seems to seep through the month. And a resilient mindset isn't staying positive. It's learning to regulate your nervous system so your brain can actually think clearly. Try this on right now. Put your hand on your heart. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for 4. And then exhale for 4. And just let your shoulders relax. You are allowing your brain to receive a literal biochemical message of safety when you do that. Safety moves to creativity. Safety can move to grounded decisions. Safety can lead to abundance. And safety is the ability to have fun without guilt. When you override your nervous system, that's when burnout creeps in. And burnout, by the way, doesn't look like failing. For high-achieving women, it looks like functioning, or should I say over-functioning, while feeling overwhelmed, drained, and, let's be honest, oftentimes resentful underneath. This holiday season, in fact, I want you to be a woman who notices your cues, honors your needs, and doesn't wait until you are curled up into a ball, right? Give yourself permission to receive. You do not have to do it all. And let me remind you, as you're doing it, you can have fun. The neuroscience of fun, and yes, there is real science about this, and it's probably some of my favorite that I'm researching now because fun activates dopamine. That's the idea, right, of motivation and pleasure and serotonin, confidence and calm, and oxytocin connection and trust. And fun improves learning, creativity, problem solving, emotional resilience, relationship satisfaction, performance. When we play, especially during the stressful seasons, we widen our cognitive map. We see solutions that were invisible before. When I think about this, I want you to think your focus is your frequency. When we are having fun, we are opening up the aperture of what we see as possibility. And fun can equal abundance. Fun can equal possibility. Fun can equal nervous system regulation. So if you want to grow your career, your sales, your confidence, your emotional bandwidth, guess what? Have more fun. Not later, not when the quarter ends, not once the Amazon returns are done. Now, right? Small fun counts. Singing in the car, dancing in your kitchen, maybe laughing at the crazy wrapping job that you've done, or maybe just watching some cheesy movie. Not cheesy, but I do recommend The Holiday. Mark will not watch it with me, but it is a good one. And that alone can help to reset your entire system. Okay, now before I get too far in, I do want to go back to what I was just talking about with the 4 pillars. Let's think about this. When we talk about the first pillar, mindset, ask yourself, what would I believe about myself if I already felt abundant? Your brain starts tuning to that frequency. Number 2, energy. Ask yourself, what is one thing today that fuels me instead of drains me? Choose more of that. Number 3, strategy. Ask yourself, what actually matters today? Not what is the loudest, what is the highest value? And number 4, self-trust. Ask yourself, what small promise can I keep to myself today? That's where confidence grows. And here are some micro practices that you can incorporate throughout the month. Choose any of them. One is enough, and you could just even practice it daily. Maybe it's a 2-minute visualization of your future self feeling abundant. Feel that now. Maybe it's just taking one guilt-free moment of doing something that you enjoy. Maybe you take 60 seconds of breath work, and breath work is simply what we did earlier. In for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, out for a count of 4. Letting yourself receive something small today. Maybe you have a done list where you can show your brain what you actually accomplished. And I will say this is so funny because I still do this work. We had an amazing Thanksgiving weekend, got so much done over the 4 days. And at the end of the day, Sunday, my brain was telling me, oh, you didn't get that done. You didn't do that. And I was like, okay, enough. We are going to sit here and remind ourselves of all the things that we actually did accomplish. You could also just think about one boundary that protects your energy. These are the tiny, powerful nervous system resets that will make such a difference in your life. So, as we're coming to a close here and you move through the holiday season, remember, you are allowed to feel good. You are allowed to have fun. You are allowed to receive. And, dare I say, you are allowed to rest. Remember, fun widens your creativity. Calm strengthens your abundance. And presence makes your life meaningful. Joy rewires your brain for success. And I want to remind you, success is decided and determined by what is important to you, not what everyone else thinks it should look like. Success is something you determine in this season of your life. Think about that. What would it be? What would look like success for you to close out 2025? Give yourself some time to really think about that so that each day you can show up in that abundance, in that fun, in that success, in that joy. That's where you will start to see your life change. And before you go, I do want to just add something extra fun here as we head into the holidays. And if you've been enjoying this show or even this episode, maybe it's been a past episode, I would love for you to take 60 seconds and just leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And to make it even a little bit more fun, more abundant, more exciting, I am doing a little abundance giveaway. I am giving away a few copies of one of my favorite books, especially most recently, Kathy Heller's Abundant Ever After. So here's how you enter. Step 1, leave a review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts. I would ask that you leave a nice review so that we can have more women listening and really, truly make an effect in the world. Number 2, take a quick screenshot of your review. And then step number 3, share it either in your Instagram stories, or you can just tag me at Michelle Bourque Coaching, or you can even just leave me a DM if you don't want to be putting it out in the whole, social world. I get it if you're more of a behind the scenes gal. That's it. Every tag or DM counts as an entry, and then I will randomly pick 4 winners. And I want this to feel like a little infusion of abundance as you close out your year. I love this book. I am so excited to be able to share it with people. I have already shared it with a few folks, and they are loving it. It's just a simple way for me to say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for helping us get the message out so that we can reach more women who deserve to feel powerful, grounded, and abundant. Okay, that's what I have for you today. Let's meet back here next week. Until then, make it a great day. Take care. Did you know you can take this work to a deeper level with me one-on-one? Go to michelleburkecoaching.com and click on Get Started to begin.